Hi Aquarius, welcome. So Aquarius, this is going to be your reading. I'm going to start with the general spiritual messages, and then I'm going to go into the you versus them love reading. I am time stamping this November because that's when I'm recording it, but my readings are timeless, so I just trust that whenever you find this, that's when it's for you. So, wow, I already have a card out because I actually started the reading and then I had to redo it. And it's funny because I feel like that was meaningful to the reading. There might be like a redo on the table for you, Aquarius, during this time frame, or maybe something that seems familiar that you're returning to, or a second chance for some of you. So I feel those kind of vibes coming through. And it's interesting because I'm not doing my readings on any sort of schedule. I'm just pulling whatever card comes out that morning is the card or the zodiac sign I'm reading for. So I'm letting fate decide. Although all 12 signs will be done. Don't freak out if it's in a different order. But the first card I pulled was Scorpios, and that was yesterday. And I feel like, well, that's kind of fitting because Scorpio's birthday season is here. And then today I pulled Aquarius, which is interesting because I've had the song Hello from the Other Side in my head all day long, which is an Adele song. And I got an Adele song in the Scorpio reading yesterday. Not the same song, a different one. And so I thought, wow, maybe there's some weird connection or correlation between Scorpio and Aquarius energy. Some of you may have Scorpio in your chart. Some of you may resonate with the Scorpio reading, even if you don't have Scorpio in your chart. So maybe check it out. That may also fit what you need. So anyways, let's get into it and see. You have the card of Mercury here, which is all about communication, words, thoughts, ideas, information, learning new things, a heightened awareness, very curious energy here, very, like I said, social as well. And then you have the card of participation. So definitely highlighting groups, collaborations, your social network, family, friends, things of that nature. The card of participation is a reminder to you that Aquarius, even though you prefer to fly solo, or at least most of the Aquarians I know do, you like to do your own thing, you like that autonomous energy. All of us Aquariuses love that. But you also live on a planet with many, many other people, and groups are important, connections are important, friends are important, family is important. And so I guess just to keep that in mind, right? Like, you don't have to fly solo all of the time. Sometimes life does require for us to communicate and to collaborate with other people. You have the card of suppression as well, which I think is really interesting. Some of you may have been feeling like you've been suppressing some of your thoughts, especially like harmful thoughts or emotions. So say you are connecting with a group or people or a person, it may be that there's some heaviness weighing on you, Aquarius, that you're not quite communicating, and that needs to be looked at. Then you have the Rebel, which this card always reminds me of Aquarius energy, because you are kind of the rebel of the zodiac, but it's like that rebellious streak wanting to come through, that independent, autonomous, don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what to say, don't tell me who to be. You know how Aquarians be. That type of energy coming through. And then the sense of self-awareness, right? So a lot of different things at play here. It'll be interesting to see how it all comes together. Let's get some more cards out and see where this is headed. We're going to look at what else we have coming through for Aquarius during this time frame. The Devil. Ooh, a 5 of Wands. Ooh, the King of Pentacles. And the Moon card. So there's definitely a lot of things at play, like I said, and some of you are really having a battle with within yourself, really. I feel this being like a struggle that is going on internally, because you have the card of suppression here, which, you know, this is a very Aquarius trait as well. We are not an overly expressive sign, although we are an air sign, but we're not quite as expressive, as chatty, I should say, as our fellow air sign friends, our Gemini and Libra. Aquarius tend to be a little bit more conservative with what they share, because most of the chatter that is happening inside the mind. And as an Aquarius myself, I totally get this energy and I do it. So I'm very conversational in my brain. Now, whether I actually say it out loud or communicate it to you, that's a whole different story. So I feel like there's a lot of chatter, right? There's a lot of communication, there's a lot of thinking, but you may not be outwardly expressing that to the world for whatever reason. And it could be because you're battling with something within yourself and suppressing it until you feel clear about what it is that you actually want and what steps you actually want to take. And that's fine, Aquarius. It's not necessarily unhealthy to do that, right? And internal dialogue is super important, especially to the air signs. But just don't get caught on the negative. Don't fixate on conflict, on being right, on a power struggle, on, you know, things that make the ego feel good, but they make the soul feel terrible. You know, stuff like that, because I do get a sense of like dwelling here, and maybe even being like hyper emotional during this time frame. But again, outwardly to the world, you may appear very stoic, calm, like you've got your shit together. You know what I mean? So others may be completely unaware that you have that going on. So let's go further and see what else we have going on for you. Now, this also could represent that you are actually having a conflict with maybe a toxic person, you know, and emotions are running high in that situation. It could be even more than one person. So this could be actually something that's manifesting external, but I feel for most of you, this is like going on in the internal. But you know what? They always say if you focus on something long enough, it will manifest. So if internally you're struggling and having conflict, do not be surprised if you manifest a conflict, you know, because that's just kind of how it works. So all the better reason to soothe that energy, Aquarius, and do what you can to move away from that, so that you don't manifest it into your external reality. And I heard too late. Some of you already have. So that's all right. Four of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Seven of Cups, Ace of Swords. So in the emotional space, I feel like you're holding on to something. So I actually feel like you have the ability to pivot or change whatever is about to occur. Because I feel you're right now holding on to something, suppressing something, and you may be tempted to communicate, to call someone, to talk about it, to alleviate this pressure or this suppression. And again, that's kind of up to you, because in one aspect, I feel like that will clear up some confusion. Like sometimes conflict is a good thing. Sometimes we need a little bit of that, you know, to rub us the wrong way so that we can clarify and make clear what it is that we're feeling and what we're wanting. So in that aspect, Aquarius, you know, take that into consideration. Some of you may decide just to keep it to yourself, okay, until you are clear on what you want to say. And that's fine too, as long as you're not getting stuck on it and fixating on it. So it's like this fine line, right, between when to talk about something and when to bite your tongue. And it's very much dependent on where you're at vibrationally, on which is the right direction to go. So let's see then. What else? You have the Wheel, the Fool, the Emperor, the Queen of Swords. I don't really care for the Queen of Swords in this deck. You might be putting someone in their place. You're definitely, if you have chosen or are choosing to speak your mind, you are definitely going to give someone something to think about, but also something for you to think about. So I just, let me just talk to you for a second so I can say what's coming to my mind. Some of you definitely want to give a piece of your mind, okay? Or there might be a situation that arises that maybe you've been suppressing something for a while, and then it's just like the energy shifts and boom, it's out of your mouth. You know what I mean? And that's what happens when we keep things to ourselves for too long, Aquarius. Some of you may have been taking the higher road, biding your time, biting your tongue, you know, to avoid some like unnecessary conflict or drama, only for it to all to erupt, you know, in just a moment of intense heat or intense passion or intense conflict, you know. It's like, you know, like when you have an opinion about something, but you're like, I'm just going to keep it to myself. And then you keep it to yourself and you keep it to yourself. But as opposed to letting go of it, see, the healthy way to bite your tongue here, Aquarius, is to let go of it though. If you're choosing not to speak on something, then you also need to choose to let go of it. Because if you choose to not speak on something, but then dwell on it and you hold on to it, guess what is ultimately always gonna happen? It's gonna come out, you know, like it has to, because thoughts become words and words, you know, become conversations. Thoughts become things, right? So it's like eventually you will express that, and usually not under the best circumstances, or maybe not even in the right way. So it's like, well, maybe it is healthier to, if you keep biting your tongue but it's still bothering you and you cannot let it go, then you probably need to talk it out or talk about it, you know, so that you can move away from it. Now, on the other hand, if you're able to bite your tongue and it doesn't bother you and you just let it go, yeah, forget about it. Keep moving around on your merry way. But I feel like for a lot of you, you're in this space where you really aren't letting it go. So you've got a choice to make, Aquarius. Either you absolutely decide to let it go, and also that means not bringing it back up, not simmering on it in your mind, you know, not complaining and all of that. Like you're genuinely letting it go, whatever that means for you. Then, okay. But if you can't, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over again, then it's time to express it. You know, so it's like, this is true like of everything in life. Like, how do you know when to take action versus when to wait? Whichever one feels best, that's the action to take. You know what I mean? Like, so if it feels better to not take action, don't take action. If you're busting out of the seams and it feels worse not to do anything, then do something. You know, like listen to your emotions and ask yourself, what feels better to me? Does it feel better to me to let bygones be bygones or let something go and that feels good? Or would it feel better to me to be heard and understood and, you know, to clear something up? And that's ultimately what you're needing to ask yourself. I feel there is something new coming through on the horizon here that is kind of pushing things forward. But I feel like, Aquarius, you have such a strong desire to be understood, and yet you're the most misunderstood zodiac sign. And as a fellow Aquarian, I have battled with that myself, of wanting so badly to be understood to the point that I'm pushing so hard for it that I'm misunderstanding myself and everyone around me. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's meant to understand you. And that's all right. And that's all right. And they don't have to. For you, they don't have to for you to be happy and for you to love yourself. Right? It's like nice to have the love and support of others. And I feel like that's kind of what you genuinely want, you know? But because you've suppressed something, it almost may feel better to rebel and move up, and do the autonomy thing, right? Yeah, so I feel like it's very up in the air energy. I also feel like I keep losing my train of thought. Like the messages are coming in and then they keep leaving. So I feel a lot of scatterbrain energy as well. I feel like ultimately things are going to be cleared up either way. It doesn't really matter which path you choose. Like life is going to work it out either way. But it's like, it's really nice to have other people's love and support, don't get me wrong. And like I said, I feel like you really do kind of crave that sometimes, or like minds. People don't understand you, you know? But at the end of the day, love and support is nobody else's job to provide you. You provide you that sense of love and support by understanding yourself first and foremost, and just being all right with that. So it's like, it's nice to have that from other people, but it should never be necessary in order for you to feel good about yourself. Because now you're depending on other people to make you feel good. And there's no power in that. There's no power in that because you can't control other people. So it's about learning how to make self feel good. And then if others choose to join you, that's an extra bonus. So let's see what the guidance is. And then we're going to go to the love reading. You know, I have so many cards in here and I keep getting the same stinking cards. It says, I can get from an unwanted to a wanted relationship. As you walk away from one unpleasant situation, the law of attraction will bring you another that feels very much like it, and usually quickly. You just cannot get there from there. To get where you want to be, to that place of feeling better, you have to reach for alignment between you and you. Getting yourself feeling good before you take action is the best way to go. For when you do not feel good, you cannot be inspired to any action that will solve your problem. Sound advice right there. Amen. All right, let's go to the you versus them and see what you have coming in when it comes to love. I'll see you in just a second. Welcome back. All right, so now we're going to go into the you versus them reading. I'm going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting with. It's a general reading, so feel free to reverse the roles if needed. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and let's get started. So you have the 6th house here of the craft, Virgo energy for some of you. This is talking about work, details, your health, your well-being, your daily rituals, learning new skills. So all of that being highlighted for you and or this person. Oh, sorry. During this time frame. No, misfire. Let's see what your overall energy is, Aquarius. You have the card of the dream. Now, wow, you have 2 6s here, and I was just getting ready to say it has like a nostalgic theme to it, and in the spiritual reading I was getting a message about a redo or the past, so that also showing up here. The person you're connecting with has the card of letting go, so it'll be interesting to see where this is headed. We're going to look at the recent past and what led up to the now, how you genuinely feel about each other, and most likely outcomes. So, recent past. What does Aquarius need to know? Judgment. The Two of Swords. Some of you had a decision. Excuse me. Some of you had a decision to make in the past where you really didn't know, you know, what the outcome was going to be, or maybe you didn't have all of the information. And yeah, I feel like it's still working out, you know. We think we need to know everything about everything before we make a decision, but oftentimes that just stagnates us. It keeps us in a space of not growing, not changing. Aquarius, you don't usually fall into that mold because you like future forward energy. You like future forward thinking. So some of you did kind of make a decision, you know, maybe even feeling a bit insecure about it or not having all of the information, and yet it's panning out, or it has panned out, because what came out of it is the Ace of Pentacles, which is like having your ish together, you know, feeling brand new, feeling happy. So I feel like a lot of you are in this growth cycle where you may have once been insecure or stuck on the past. Not saying you don't ever deal with insecurities anymore, but now it's more of a growth and evolution thing than anything. So let's see this person's recent past. The Strength card. Some of you didn't even know that this was going to grow into something bigger, okay, when it came to maybe this connection. So they have the Strength card, the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Tower. So I feel a lot of confusion on this person's side, which is interesting because I don't have any cards reflecting that, but that's the first thing I felt. I feel like this person like has thought and thought and thought and thought and thought again and thought something over again to the point of like exhaustion, but also it's like a heightened self-awareness on their end. Like they've learned a lot about themselves through whatever process they've recently gone through, and it's actually made them stronger. It's made them more adaptable to change as well. So I feel like there's changes going on within this person's energy, but they're positive changes. Whether they can see that or not, I don't know. But I feel like this person is going into this space of rapid transformation as well. So let's see how you are perceiving each other then in the now moment. How do you see each other? You have Four of Pentacles, Death and Rebirth, King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Wow, that kind of stopped me in my tracks there. So some of you are holding on, you're holding on to something that it could be related to an ending or a change here that you've suppressed your feelings around, and it may need to be communicated, okay? And that's exactly what I got in the spiritual tarot reading. And or it could be that this person is holding on to something that they need to communicate. I feel like something was said that hurt your feelings, Aquarius, and it created like this ending energy. You may have been holding out for something to change or for a different outcome, and just like feeling a little bit of a sense of disappointment here. And it's weird because like the channeled messages are coming in differently than the cards reflect, which is not usually how this goes. So for my fellow card readers, a lot of this is just what I'm feeling. But this is falling in how you see this person. So you may feel like this person has stubborn tendencies, but they have gone through a lot of changes. They are learning how to open up and communicate about their feelings, or maybe that's something on their path as well. It could be, Aquarius, that they are the ones that need to communicate something that has hurt them. But I definitely get like hurt feelings. So this person's, how are they perceiving you, Aquarius? And that reminds me of the song I had earlier, Hello from the Other Side. Some of you may have had an ending with this person, and somebody needs to communicate their feelings because they've been stuck on it. They've been holding on to it, whether that's you or the other person. Okay? That's only for those of you who had a complete ending here. Okay, so Ace of Cups, Four of Swords, Five of Swords. And the Hangman. So yeah, it's like things feeling up in the air for this person as well. They've gotten it twisted in their head because they've overthought it. You know, one of the downfalls of overthinking a situation, like in a way it's good because it helps you to see the angle. Can I speak? It helps you to see the experience from all different angles. But in other ways, it could be detrimental because sometimes it'll have you twisting and turning the story, and you get farther and farther away from what actually happened. And I actually feel like this person is on that end of it, where they've overturned it in their mind so many times that they've kind of distorted it, the reality, you know, in their mind. And so they're needing to have like this enlightenment come through so that they can see it from a higher perspective. And they're actually getting glimpses of the higher perspective through their thoughts, but also through the dream state, which is interesting. And you may also be getting messages through the dream state. So pay attention, because your dreams reflect a lot of what you have going on emotionally. No matter how crazy or erratic they may seem. And I feel like this person really genuinely loves you, Aquarius, or has genuine love here, whether it's expressed or not expressed. So let's see what's going on in the heart space. How do you feel, Aquarius, when it comes to this person? Four of Swords, the Magician, the Hangman, the Nine of Swords. Wow, so many cards. So I feel you being kind of at peace, or coming to that conclusion, at least in November, of coming to peace with things. I feel like anytime you're able to go into your higher self and see it from that more objective standpoint, the better it feels, right? Versus like when you're so hyper-focused, Aquarius, that it actually is convoluting the situation and your thoughts as well. So it's weird because I feel like, you know, I feel like you wanting to be in this space of balance and cooperation, and that's really what you're looking to manifest. And so I feel, again, that message about maybe like considering about suppressing something because you don't want to have to throw things off balance or stress out over something. And that's fine if you choose that, but then stop stressing about it. See, some of you are choosing to stay silent or keep something to yourself, but then at the same time, you're battling in yourself and it's causing stress. It could be causing physical pain. It's definitely going to manifest in weird stuff happening, because that's what happens when we don't honor ourselves like that. So it's like, find an expressive outlet and or find a way to let this go so that you can sleep at night. Some of you, it is literally feeling like an intrusion, like intrusive thoughts, and may be leaking into your dream state. So let's see what's going on with this person. What do they have going on in their heart? Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. Three of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Justice card. So they have two cards of like letting go. I feel like there is something that this person is also needing to let go. You're kind of mirroring each other. And in the process of them being able to do that, they find success. Like, I feel like this person is also reaching for balance. They're also reaching for that sweet spot, right? They are very future forward thinking as well. They are kind of loving doing their own thing as well. Like, this person has actually a lot of common traits or energy as you at times, Aquarius. Very success driven, very goal oriented energy here, and they like to feel that way in their connections too, and that may be the appeal to you, possibly, but I feel like this person ultimately wants success, but they also want that within a partnership as well. So let's see what the outcome, most likely outcome, might be for Aquarius. Ten of Swords. Goodness gracious. I just feel you being completely drained and like overdoing it almost. But then the Ace of Swords. Hell yes. Talk about a comeback. So I feel you coming back from that. Kind of, for a moment. Page of Swords. Jeez, maybe I stop talking. Six of Swords. Look at all this swords energy. You know what swords is? Thoughts. What's going on up here, Aquarius? A lot. I can tell you that. A lot. It's like you're up, you're down, you're exhausted, and then you get clarity. A moment of clarity. And then you doubt that clarity. Like, well, was that really what it was? And then moving into this space of like, just forget about it. Who cares? Let me move forward. Like that you're exhausting yourself. Because that's the pattern you have going on in the thought process. At least if you're watching this and you're resonating, that's what I'm feeling, you know? And it's like almost having to say to yourself, like, enough is enough. I know the truth, my truth, right? Truth is subjective for the most part. I know my truth. And I don't care if anybody understands that or knows that. But I need to stop doubting what I know. I need to stop doubting myself. It feels like other people are doubting you, but you're actually doubting yourself. Because others are a perfect representation of how you actually feel inside about yourself. Think about it. So the more certain and sure you are, the more you believe in yourself, the more secure you are in yourself, the more other people will reflect that back to you by trusting you, by trusting your decision making, by understanding, you know, not always understanding, but you get what I mean, right? Like you pull that response out of people based on your energy. And you're the only one in charge of your energy, and the relationship between you and you is what produces that energy. So if you're feeling insecure, doubtful, or stressed, you're putting that off. You're emanating that from your pores, so to speak. And other people are sniffing that up, you know, sniffing that up, getting a whiff of your energy, and then they're responding to it. So what do you want to give off? What energy do you want to give off that will get you the response that you want? And I can tell you right now, Aquarius, that energy is one of being confident in yourself, knowing thyself, loving thyself, and leaving other people out of it and other people's opinions out of it until you get really good with that. because that's just convoluting your idea of self, and only you know you. So have your own back. Let's see this person's energy. Ace of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Sometimes you feel like pep talks or TED Talks. Apologize for that. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Like, this is just how I read. But, I'm gonna get this card. I always want to end it by saying, thank you for coming to my TED Talk today. If you don't know what TED Talks are, I don't know how you don't know, but they're motivational speeches on YouTube. Some pretty good ones out there. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like Aquarius, this person wants to work on it. They want to work on themselves. They want to work on maybe the connection. They want peace, they want balance, they want equal give and take, they want commitment. Some of them are committed to you. It's funny because it's like they kind of had to go through their own process here and get out of their own way, but I actually feel them being in a much healthier space. And I don't know, maybe you doubt that, or maybe you doubt yourself, or I don't know, like, there's something on offer that you're skeptical about, but I actually feel it genuine. So I feel like this person is actually going into a pretty positive space where they are looking to grow, right? And to feel established and to, I heard, raise the bar. You know, so very interesting. Why am I doing that? Very interesting. My hands be doing whatever they want. You know, sometimes I watch the playback on these videos sometimes, and I just can't help but to laugh. Like, what am I doing right now with my hands? I don't know. All right, let's see what the guidance is for you and your person. Ooh, should I leave or should I stay? It is very empowering to discover that your patterns of thought do not have to follow your current situation, and therefore your current situation on all subjects can change. We do not recommend taking the physical action of leaving a relationship or cutting off one without a deliberately coming into thought alignment with the new desire that has been born out of that relationship. And then, whether you stay in the relationship or move on to another, you can have exactly what you desire in your next experience. Wow, so some of you, it really is a battle about leaving or staying or cutting something off or continuing. And that is really the most sound advice, is line up with yourself, love yourself, and then see what feels the best. Don't take action when you're in the gutter, because I promise you're not listening to your intuition when you're in the gutter. You got to get good with self and then decide. And I just realized that this is card 42, which is the number, breaks down to the number 6 in numerology. And that will be 666. Woo! Look up the number 666. And no, I'm not talking about the mark of the devil, y'all. Get out of here with that. I'm talking about the spiritual meaning of the number 6, specifically 666. Wow, very interesting reading. I'm going to leave it there for now. Zodiac signs that you may be connected with or have in your chart. I felt a Scorpio connection here. Also check out their reading. Even if you're not dealing with one, you may actually resonate with it. But I also have Virgo energy, Leo, Aries, Scorpio again, Libra, Leo. Yeah, Gemini energy. Those are the predominant signs I'm seeing, but keep in mind that it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff. I have some cool videos there. Actually, you guys, I have a live video that I did on Halloween with my mom, and I got a surprise proposal at the end. I got engaged on Halloween. Live on Facebook. You can see it for yourself. Go to my Facebook, Tarot Time with Dana. All of it linked in the description box below, as well as in the about section. Such a cool moment. But anyways, yeah, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Love you guys so much. Thank you for coming to see me. And until next time, my friends. Namaste.